Well, as you can hear, we got a big run on hand here tonight at the Corn Palace. As you might expect, as we said, this could very well be the final home game of the year for the Kernels. And Brandon Valley has brought a good number of folks over as well for tonight's contest. We'll have the starting lineups coming out here in just a few moments. First of all, let's go with Brandon Valley now as Dean Binder announces their starters over the public address system. First of all, the guards. Number 13, 5'11", is a junior, Jeff Schroeder. He scored just one basket against the Kernels in the earlier meeting between these two teams. At the other guard is number 41, 6'3", and a junior, Monty Rowe, who played somewhat off the bench, but not all that much. On the front line, at one forward, number 25, 6'4", senior Brian Morlock. He is their leader, averaging 15 points a game. The other forward, number 43, is number 45. They will list as the forward Larson, 6'4", sophomore, averages 12 a game. And at center, Martin Parks, the 6'4", junior. He scored 7 against the Kernels in that first meeting and played very well off the bench. The head coach, Mark Miley, who of course did a great job at Salem before moving over to Brandon Valley, taking over their program there. Now for the Kernels, at one guard, number 10, 5'10", senior Tom Shields, averaging 6.5 a game. At the other guard, number 22, 6'1", senior Darin Jacobsen, averaging 14.7. At one forward, number 14, 6-foot senior Alan Ganeri, comes in averaging just under 10 a game. The other forward, number 42, 6'3", senior Alan McEntee, averages just under 5 a game. And at center, number 30, 6'5", junior, averaging 17 a game, Scott Morgan. Head coach of the Kernels, Gary Munson, and his assistant coach, Bob Johnson. They both come in 12-6 on the year. And as Steve mentioned earlier, our two officials for tonight's game, Gary Reed and Tom Hansen. Well, Steve, we mentioned butterflies, but how about more on the Kernel side? They're expected to win this game. They're on their home floor. They beat Brandon at Brandon. A little more pressure on the Kernels than on the Lynx?
Oh, I think so. It's in the Corn Palace. I think over at Brandon it might be a different story. But the Kernels, as Coach Gary Munson said after my interview, he says, well, I just hope we're ready to play tonight because Brandon Valley does have some people out there that can hurt you. And I would expect the Kernels not to do a box-and-one. I just expect really Darin Jacobsen to just match up on more like the Kernels, to come out on the man-to-man defense that they played so well this year, and for Brandon to start out in the zone but to mix it up throughout the game.
All right, here we go. Morgan will jump it up and gets the tap over to Jacobsen. Comes right side of the lane, in off the glass to start things out. So a quick start for the Kernels. Darin Jacobsen putting in a short 10-footer, and it's a 2-0 ball game. Jeff Schroeder into the front court. Kernels will go man-to-man to start things out. Left-hand side, Morlock with it. Cross-court pass back to Schroeder. Now into the side of the lane. Ball knocked away momentarily inside from Larson. Now it is knocked loose in the lane again, but Brandon comes out to the top of the key to pick it up. Jason Larson there with it. Hands it back to Schroeder, the guard. Jeff Schroeder, 5'11", and a junior. Pass now into the lane with it. Larson, the sophomore center. He'll hit one from right out in front of the basket. Jason Larson ties us up at 2-2. Brandon is going to go with some full court pressure, but Tom Shields hustles it all the way up the left side. Down to the corner. Pass through the lane. McEntee is there. He goes up with a jumper. It's long. The rebound, Ganeri at the side of the lane. Back to McEntee. Now to Jacobsen. Free throw line jumper. Good. The Kernels moved it quickly. Got Brandon Valley off balance, and Jacobsen hits his second shot. It's 4-2 Mitchell. Little man-to-man pressure at half court. Shields picking up Schroeder. Goes on his right-hand side. Larson, again, Jason Larson. Back out on the wing, Monty Rowe, the 6'3" guard, now into Larson, and he's going to be hit from behind, and McEntee will pick up his first foul of the game. As we said, Allen got into foul trouble the first time these two teams met, ended up with 4, never did foul out, but limited playing time.
Well, right now, early, Brandon Valley going inside to Larson, the sophomore, on McEntee.
Ball comes in from Morlock, out on the wing to Schroeder. Pass now to the free throw line. It's Larson again. This is back outside on the wing. Jacobsen almost stealing it away from Morlock, but he gets it back. Around they come right-hand side and down in the corner to Schroeder once more. Now he'll dribble back out front. Brandon being patient here, trying to break somebody open underneath. Free throw line, Monty Rowe, guarded by Ganeri. Can't get off the shot. The right side, Schroeder. Now inside of the lane. Nothing developing there either. Back to the free throw line. Morlock's jumper in and out, no good. Rebound actually hits the floor before Ganeri picks it up. Kernels had everybody boxed out well there. Shields brings it up. 4-2 Mitchell. We played 2 minutes. Darin Jacobsen, right side, into the corner to Scott Morgan. He'll dish it back out front. Ganeri right at the top of the key. Brandon staying in their zone. Here's a fadeaway. McEntee way short, and Morgan's fouled going after the rebound. Morlock hits him from behind. McEntee with a little fade at the side of the lane, come up way short of the rim, but Morgan was pushed as he went inside. Now we get a substitution for the Lynx. Darin Schleicher, a 6-foot senior, will come in, and now here comes the big guy, too. Craig Maddox, the 6'6 senior. He's the guy with the bad back coming in at center. Kernels throw it in from underneath. Ganeri, lob inside. Morgan with position. He's fouled as he goes up. It will go on Maddox, who just checked into the ball game.
Well, Scott Morgan was able to get open against the zone defense. Brennan Valley did not front Scott Morgan that time. Consequently, he has a chance to shoot two, where Morgan on the year 60 of 97 for 62% this year.
The free throw no good off the back of the rim. Well, they've got up on the board a foul against number 35, Schleicher, but I know Maddox raised his hand, so we're going to have to check on that. Second team foul. Second one is good by Morgan, so he's on the board with his first point. Kernels lead at 5-2, and now some full court zone pressure by Mitchell. Schroeder right in the center is going to bring it across the timeline. Pass into the lane. Larson there up with a short one. It falls off the front. No good. Rebound Mitchell underneath. Darin Jacobsen there to take the ball away. 3-on-2 advantage, but Brandon could not capitalize, and the Kernels come back with it. Shields setting the play out front. Goes on his left-hand side. Foul knocked away from him momentarily, double team, but now Ganeri comes over to get the pass, help out, right back to Shields it goes. Left-hand wing Ganeri. Brandon Valley's gone man-to-man. They've come out of that zone now. McEntee side of the lane, out to Ganeri, the 15-footer, a little bit long, no good. Rebound Maddox underneath for the Lynx. They'll hand the ball to Schroeder and let him bring it up. 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. Mitchell leads 5-2. Jeff Schroeder goes right side. Dumps it in the corner for Morlock. No shot. Back out to Schroeder on the wing. Now in the lane. The turnaround by Maddox. He's fouled as he goes up. Scott Morgan will pick up his first, and now both teams have 2 team fouls.
Well, Scott Morgan, who did an outstanding job defensively against Tyrion, had several block shots that time. Had his hand on the ball, but also had Maddox's hand, and he is now going to shoot 2.
Maddox, 6'6 senior, hits the first one. Averaging right about 13 points per game for the Lynx. Scored 17. He was the high man against the Kernels when they met earlier. Second shot up, good again. So it's now a 1-point game, 5-4. The Kernels, full court pressure by Brandon. Jacobsen having trouble, gets it away to Shields. Now to Ganeri and into the front court. It's a 3-on-2. Right side, Morgan's going to go to the basket, scores. Kernels did a nice job of beating it. Ganeri took it right into the lane. Now Morlock dribbling in the backcourt, knocked away by Morgan. He'll steal it. Morgan going in for the layup, misses it. His own rebound, good. Morgan with 2 in a row, and the Kernels have a 5-point lead, 9-4. They put on the pressure again. Schleicher, backcourt, now a long cross-court pass. They get it up to Morlock on the left side. He'll slow it down there in the corner. Brings it back out front for Schroeder. Halfway through quarter number 1. Morlock from 3, left corner, good. He curls it in. He's an excellent outside shooter.
He's their best outside shooter. Kernels have to be where he's at on the floor at all times.
9-7. Now Morgan, long range, right side. It won't go down. Rebound batted around, fouled against McEntee underneath, I believe. Yep, Alan McEntee is going to pick up his second. He and Schleicher were going at it underneath the basket. McEntee will check out of the lineup for the Kernels with that second foul, and coming in will be Brent Seaton for the first time. The 6'2 senior. Exactly at the 4-minute mark, 9-7 Mitchell. Their biggest lead was 9-4 here just a moment ago before Morlock's 3-pointer. Brandon beats the pressure nicely. Larson, the sophomore, into the front court. Drops it behind him. Schroeder, left wing, Morlock, into Maddox. Fade away from 10 is short. Rebound, Seaton went up to get it. Seaton being pressured in the backcourt, but now gets it away to Ganeri. Crowd wanting a foul as it looked like there might have been contact. Now Jacobsen goes in. He's bumped, and the ball goes in. Will they count it? Nope. Gary Reed says no. Game on the drive at the side of the lane. NBA, there would have been no question on that.
How about that? Mark Miley and his coaching staff were upset on the previous play. They thought Seaton had gotten away with a palming of or double dribbling of the basketball.
So no shots. Jacobsen throws it in from underneath. Schleicher gets his first foul. Kernels come outside with it. Now they go into the lane. Ganeri, turnaround, good. Little 6-footer for Alan Ganeri. And the Kernels' lead is 4 at 11-7. Ball tipped again in the backcourt. Brandon gets it across, though. Larson, now he'll slow down. 6'4" sophomore helping to bring the ball up the floor. Out to Schroeder, working against Shields out front. Into Larson, right side of the lane. Gennari reaches in, steals the ball right away from him. Then he has it taken back by Schleicher. He'll shoot it up, no good, and Gennari on the rebound again. Out to Shields. Shields pushing it up the middle. Goes around his man side of the lane, takes the short jumper, but it won't crawl over the rim. Comes up short, and Maddox is there to clear it for Brandon Valley. So both teams with some opportunities. Couldn't get them to go, and it's still 11-7. The Kernels, 2:45 remaining in quarter number 1. Schroeder, right side. Schleicher, Darin Schleicher on the wing. Now back to Schroeder. He'll pump one, and he hits it from about 17. 5'11" junior Jeff Schroeder's first basket. Back to 2-point Kernel lead. Brandon again with some pressure. Mitchell handles it, Seaton up the right-hand side. Drives all the way under the basket. Goes with a shot, no good. Tip Morgan. Good move by Brent Seaton, though. Took it all the way to the hole, just couldn't get the shot down. Now, again, Brandon beating the full court pressure, but they have to hold up. Kernels got back quickly. Looked like they might have a 3-on-2. Mitchell hustled back. 4-point Kernel lead. Right side, Schleicher open from 15. It's short. Rebound loose at the free throw line. They dive to the floor after it. Jump ball. It will belong to Brandon Valley. The arrow pointing their way. Now Mark Miley is going to go to his bench here again, and he will bring Monty Rowe back in the lineup, and Schleicher will come out. Brandon to throw it in from underneath their own basket. 2 minutes to go, first period. Tightly played game thus far. Biggest lead, 5 points for the Kernels, but it didn't last very long. Larson, side of the lane. Rowe working on Gennari, goes up over him and hits the jumper. Rowe at 6'3", couple of inches height advantage on Gennari. Got it down, it's 13-11. Jacobsen in the traffic, dribbles to the free throw line, shoots, hits it. Darin Jacobsen brought it all the way up, weaved between a couple of defenders, and then popped it home.
Brandon Valley is going to have to do a better job of containing Jacobsen when he penetrates inside the lane like that. He can do so many things. Shoot as he did or pass off if someone's open.
Kernels again by 4. Brandon on offense. Free throw line. Maddox will try the jumper. Rolls around, comes out. Rowe on the rebound, scores. Monty Rowe came off the bench just a few seconds ago. 2 straight baskets for him. And Brandon hanging tough, down by a bucket. Shields dribbling through the pressure at half court. Into the lane and now shovels a pass to the corner. Gennari tries to save it. He does, but it comes back to Brandon, and then off of Shields' leg and out of bounds. So it'll be Brandon Valley basketball. Shields went into the lane and flipped the pass across a little bit out of control that time. Went into the corner, and Gennari couldn't quite save it. Now Gennari is going to go out, and Marty Jacobsen will come into the Kernel lineup.
Well, the 2 previous times for Brandon Valley, Monty Rowe has been able to score. Once on a post-up over Gennari, and then they got the offensive rebound over Alan Gennari, and now Jacobsen a little bit taller in to replace him.
Yep, Marty will guard him. Here's a long one left corner, way off the mark by Moorlock. Rebound blocked by Morgan. They'll try it again. This one no good. Moorlock gets it back, side of the lane, goes up with another jumper. Once more it falls out of there. Again Brandon on the boards. They miss another one underneath. Now we've got a foul underneath, and which way is it going to go? Against the Lynx, the way it looks. Oh boy, 4 shots. Yep. And they couldn't get it to go, and they were all within 4 or 5 feet of the basket. And finally the foul is against Craig Maddox, his second. The 14th foul on Brandon, and the Kernels will get it. Now Maddox will go out, and coming in, Martin Parks, who started the ball game at the center spot, the 6'4" junior.
Well, Tim, Mark Miley's got to be extremely happy that time, the way Brandon Valley hit the offensive boards.
Boy, also, they are big, physical underneath. 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Mitchell by a basket. Jacobsen, left side. That's Darin out to Marty to have the key. Return to Darin. He'll go with the long jumper. No good. Short. Rebound in the lane comes to Parks. So Brandon again a chance to tie it here at the end of the quarter. 15 seconds as they bring it up. Schroeder. Bounce pass right side. Rowe has it stolen away by Marty Jacobsen. Picked it right away from him. To Darin. He'll pull up right side. 10-footer. Good. 4 seconds to go. Brandon throws it in, and Moorlock, 3-pointer at the buzzer, short, and that's the end of the first quarter. The Kernels lead by 4. The score, Mitchell 17, Brandon Valley 13. We'll be back in 1 minute for you. Brookings leading Watertown 10-4 with about 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. And also Pierre has a 15-9 lead on Huron. They are also in the first quarter. We'll keep you posted on other games as we go. Underway now with the second quarter here at the Palace. And Mitchell with the basketball at a 17-13 lead. Tom Shields out front. We got a whistle, 3-second violation against the Kernels. Steve, let's take a look at some stats.
Well, Brandon Valley 5 of 15 for 33%. The Kernels 8 of 16 for 50. The Kernels have out-rebounded Brandon 8-7 in the first quarter. Turnovers, 3 for Brandon, 2 for the Kernels in the first quarter.
All righty, Brandon now the chance to close to 2. Morlock, he'll hit from the top of the key. Brian Morlock with 5 points. That leads the Lynx, 17-15. Mitchell brings it up. Shields leaves it for Jacobsen out front. Into the corner goes Darin. Starts a drive at the baseline. He's fouled there. Sticking out a leg was Martin Parks. And knocked Jacobsen off balance. That should be 1-1. We're ready to throw it in from underneath, but now they catch it. We will go to the line. That is the 15th foul.
Well, Darin Jacobsen, the leading free throw shooter on the team this year for the Kernels, 53 of 78 for 68%.
Jacobsen has had an excellent first quarter here tonight. Not only scoring-wise, he's got 8 points, but boy, he's been all over the floor. Free throw is rolling off the right side. No good. Rebound to Brandon. So they have a chance to tie things up here. Kernels have led from the start, although it's been a narrow one. Schroeder out front. And it looks like the Kernels are going into a zone here. And now we're going to get a little box and one. Out front, traveling call on Schroeder. So the Kernels do go man-on-man against Morlock. And it should be not too much of a surprise. Mark Miley was ready for it, so I'm sure his team is ready for it as well. Kernels still up by 2, and now with the ball. Shields goes left side. Marty Jacobsen to Darin, deeper in the corner. Back to Marty, flips it down, and nobody there. Was going back for Darin, but Darin was making a move across the baseline to go over to the far side. And the pass was behind him, so the Kernels turn it over.
And they couldn't get it to Scotty Morgan that time. He's now being double-teamed. One in front and one in behind.
We'll see if the Kernels go the same way. Rowe on the right side. Yes, it is. It'll be Darin Jacobsen following Morlock around the floor. Schroeder, left side, throws an air ball up from 15 feet. Marty Jacobsen on the rebound to Shields. 3-on-3 as he comes up with it. Goes around one man. Nice shot. Left-handed lay-in by Shields. Almost a hook shot on the run there to get it over his man. Good move to the basket. Kernels up by 4. And that's Shields' first score of the night. Again, Schroeder out on the right wing. To the free throw line, Martin Parks there with it, the 6'4 junior. Now to the top, Rowe. Back to Schroeder, right side. Morlock trying to get his hands on the ball. Now he comes out front and gets it, but dishes it right off again. Gets a return pass, goes left-hand wing. Nobody there. Now the ball almost knocked away by Shields out front from Schroeder, but he gets it back. Here's Morlock, three-pointer. No good from the left side. Ball knocked out of bounds. Shields goes flying into the bench and knocks a couple of chairs over. It'll be Brandon's ball, and let's see if Tom Shields is okay. Yep, he comes up. He's all right. But before we throw it in, Mark Miley wants a timeout to talk things over. 5:55 to go in the first half. Mitchell leads it 19-15. Back in a minute. All right, folks, listen to this score. At the end of one quarter, Yankton 12, Sioux Falls Lincoln 3. That's at the end of one quarter over in Sioux Falls. Here we got a steal by the Kernels. Seaton driving right side will score. Kernels knocked it away on the inbounds pass by Brandon, and Seaton will get his first basket. They take a 6-point lead.
Good power move to the offensive glass by Brent Seaton that time.
Brandon Valley with it. They're going to try and go inside to Larson. Now he dishes back out front. Almost got away from Morlock, and here's a reach-in on Darin Jacobsen. Strangely enough, Steve, it seems almost now that they've gone into the box and won. Morlock is trying to do more now than he was before. I think they're overreacting to it a little bit.
Just this last time, the Kernels have switched from the box and one back to man-to-man.
I think Mark Miley maybe called the timeout because of that. It looked like Morlock was really forcing the shot, just like he felt he had to do something. Ball into Maddox. Back to Morlock now. Left side. Goes baseline. Blocked out of bounds by Jacobsen. Came in from behind. Nice defensive job by Darin.
Now, this is where Brandon Valley has to be careful not to get too frustrated in the game. They're only down by 6. 5 minutes to go. They've got to stay within themselves.
Ball will come in from Rowe. He's going to have to hurry to beat the 5 seconds. And, almost a steal out front. Now they throw it in the backcourt. Schroeder is standing behind the 10-second line, and I don't know why he would go back there. They had to throw off the ball into the top of the key to get it in and just beat the 5-second count. It was tipped by one of the Brandon players and came back to Schroeder. He was in the backcourt, so an over and back violation. And the Kernels going to go up by 8. Seaton beats his man again, baseline, but he couldn't get the shot. He was too far underneath the basket. Boy, Seaton just walked around Maddox that time. Good drive. Ball into Larson. Side of the lane, up and in. So that's a big exchange. Kernels could have been up by 8. Now they're up by only 4 as Brandon puts it in. 4:50 remaining in the second quarter. Darin Jacobsen, or Marty Jacobsen, I should say, left side to Shields out front. Back to Marty. Now in the corner to Darin. Kernels will work it back out front. Shields, right-hand wing. Again to Darin Jacobsen, right-hand corner. Nothing developing. In the lane, Morgan puts it on the floor once. We've got a whistle, and he's going to score. They gave it to him that time. Somebody reached in just as Morgan was picking up the dribble to go up with a shot. And Tom Hansen says, yes, the basket is good. He will go to the free throw line, Will Morgan. And the foul is going to go on Brian Morlock, his second. So the Kernels lead by 6, and a free throw coming up by Scott Morgan. Going for point number 10 of the night already. And in and out and in. Bounces around and drops. So 24-17, biggest lead of the ball game. Into the front court, Schroeder. Now see what the Kernels are going to do here. Looks like the box and one again. So they're switching it up back and forth, trying to keep Brandon off balance. Maddox, side of the lane, he'll hit the turnaround. Boy, those are tough shots to block. You can play the good D, hand in the face, but tough to get up on those. Good fadeaway jumper. Halfway through our second quarter, 24-19. Shields, top of the circle, penetrates side of the lane, goes with a short one, rolling around, no good. Seaton tips it, won't go down. Ball still loose and now picked up by Morlock. Glennon gets it back. Good move by Seaton, just couldn't get the shot to go on that tip-in. Schroeder will set up again out front. Pass right side, Monty Rowe on the wing. Looking for some help. Larson comes out to the top. Back to Schroeder, 17-footer, air ball, comes to Rowe on the rebound. He's going to be fouled as he went up with it, and this will go on Marty Jacobsen. Well, I'll tell you what, they've been leaving Schroeder open for the shots, but he has missed some badly. They may leave him open a long time here tonight.
Well, he's made the one basket from that same position, but 2 other times he hasn't hit anything but air. He's had 2 air balls, and the Kernels might be wise to lay off him.
That's right. Monty Rowe at the free throw line. Puts it up, and good. And Brandon is within 4. In case you missed that score we gave you a little bit ago, at the end of 1 quarter, Yankton leading Sioux Falls Lincoln 12-3. Major upset. Brookings was ahead of Watertown by 6 points late in the first quarter. Second free throw by Rowe, no good. Maddox on the rebound. Now they go to the floor after it. It's tied up, and it will be Brandon's ball because Mitchell had it out of bounds at the quarter. So the Lynx will get it right back again, trailing 24-20. Well, that really was a big exchange when the Kernels came down. Could have gone up by 8. Brandon closed at 4. Now they're hanging in there tough ever since. Schroeder with the inbounds pass, way out front. Goes right side, looks in the corner, gives it up there to Rowe. Monty back to the free throw line. Maddox will take the shot. He hits it. Craig Maddox doesn't look like his back is hurting him too bad. He's got 6 points.
Well, for a player who has not practiced at all, according to Mark Miley, and has not played a lot, he's playing extremely well tonight.
Marty Jacobsen to Morgan, side of the lane. No shot. Back out front it comes Shields. Starts to make a move left side of the lane. They cut him off. Now Darin Jacobsen on the left-hand wing on near 3-point range. Comes back around. Marty Jacobsen starts to drive right side. He's cut off. Out to Shields. 3-pointer good. The Kernels were patient. Brandon played good defense inside. The Kernels worked it. And then Shields popped from out front. We're getting a new man in for Brandon Valley. It's going to be Darren Schleicher, the 6-foot senior who played a little earlier, coming back in.
Tim, it's frustrating for Brandon. They did an outstanding job denying the penetration every time. But they just pop it out to Shields. He hits the 3-point shot. His 11th 3-point play of the year.
They did play good defense that time down the floor. Larson to Schleicher, right-hand side. Into the side of the lane. Shot up, in and out by Larson. No good. Seaton on the rebound. 2:25 to go in the first half. Mitchell's lead 5 points. Shields, lob down low. Morgan fakes once, goes up with a shot, scores. Scott Morgan, good head and shoulder fake. Got his man to leave the floor. Went up, put it in. 12 points for Morgan, and it's a 7-point lead once again, equaling the biggest of the ball game. Schroeder to Larson, free throw line. Back to Schroeder. Gets it to Morlock, left side, but Darin Jacobsen on him like glue. Can't get off the shot. Cross-court pass to Schleicher. Now in the lane, Maddox gets a man up in the air. Oh, what a dipsy-do went in. Oh, back to the basket. He kind of just flipped it up over the shoulder, half underhanded, and it went down for Maddox. 29-24. Kernels come back. Marty Jacobsen on the left-hand side. He and Shields play catch. Now Darin from the corner. It's short. Rebound tapped around. Morgan gets it. 10-footer on the way. Good. Scott Morgan is having an excellent first half. 14 points. Some key offensive rebounds. We have him for 4 rebounds in the game now. And it's 31-24. Schroeder again on the outside. Goes to Schleicher, right-hand side. At halftime, we're going to be updating those other ball game scores for you. Pass in the lane. Too high for Larson. Picked off by Darin Jacobsen. Comes across the timeline with it, puts the brakes on, holds things up. 1:05 to go before halftime. The Kernels can go up by 9. The Jacobsens playing catch left side. Out to Shields. Right-hand corner, Darin Jacobsen. Nothing developing. Down to 50 seconds remaining. Kernels can afford to be patient. They want a good shot here. Can go up by 9. Be the biggest lead. In the lane, Seton. Double team. Goes inside. Ball knocked away loose. Batted around, and Maddox picks it up. Quickly down the floor now. Schroeder trying to drive on Shields. Gets it across the lane, and there's Moorlock open. Schroeder just barely held that pivot foot. He almost traveled with it that time. Now on the other end, here comes Marty Jacobsen. He'll take it in to score. Boy, he was all alone. But Marty saw an opening. Took it to the bucket. 33-26 Mitchell, and it looks like Brandon will go for the last shot here before the half. 15 seconds on the clock. Schroeder out front. Gets it to Larson, back to Schroeder, now we're down to 9. 8, Maddox, free throw line. Out to Schroeder, pass inside of the lane, there's a foul. Reach in, Seton is going to be called for it. And that will put Brandon at the line as both teams in the bonus. With 5 seconds to go here in the second quarter, it'll be Jason Larson, the 6'4 sophomore, for the 1-and-1. Now substitution for Mark Miley. Darren Denai, a 5'11 junior, will come in. First time that Denai has been in. A little more quickness in here. They're taking their bigger forwards out, getting some extra guards as they know Mitchell's got to go the length of the floor in 5 seconds. 33-26 Kernels. Larson 1-and-1. Puts it up. It's good. Larson with 5 points. He can cut it to a 5-point Mitchell lead if he can get this second one to go. We'll see if the Kernels can get off a decent shot in 5 seconds. It's on the way, rolling and coming off. Scott Morgan gives it up to Seton, still in the backcourt. 2-1. Here's Shields from half court. It's going to be short at the buzzer. We're at halftime. And it's a 6-point Mitchell lead. Pretty well played ball game. Some tough defense on both sides, but yet some points on the board. So both teams playing pretty well. The score at the intermission: Mitchell 33, Brandon Valley 27. Now we'll be updating you on some scores. Quarter the Kernels along the basketball, leading by 6, 33-27. Man-to-man defense by Brandon Valley to start it out. Ganeri to Shields, breaking up side of the lane, but he shot too hard. Comes off the backboard, no good. A rebound controlled underneath by Jason Larson, the 6'4 sophomore for the Lynx.
All Kernels start with the same way they started the game.
Right-hand side, Monty Rowe. Inside, here's Larson with a turnaround, puts it up too hard, and Darin Jacobsen's on the rebound. Going to bring it up himself, putting on a burst of speed. Now to Ganeri from the corner. The shot on the wing, no good. Kernels have missed a couple of them here. Long pass down the floor. Moorlock drives. He misses. The foul is no good. Maddox came flying through there. And the Kernels on the board. True lids on the basket. Starting out the third quarter. Both teams had good shots. Ganeri left-hand corner, and there he hit one. And the Kernels finally drop one through and up that lead to 35-27. 4 for Alan Ganeri.
You know, we've just seen Alan Ganeri play all year long, and that appears to be his favorite shot on the floor is that baseline jumper.
Schroeder out front, guarded by Shields. Mitchell man-to-man all the way. No box and one here now. Rowe right side. Comes over on the left-hand wing. Moorlock, nice pass inside. Larson is there. Posted up on McEntee. Went up and scored. 7 for Jason Larson.
Well, Alan McEntee, who just played 4 minutes in the first half, they did that to McEntee at the start of the game. They come back right away with it here in the third quarter.
Larson had a good start. Kernels with it, working left side. Darin Jacobsen now out top of the key to Shields. Goes around the right-hand wing. Ganeri's there, no shot. Back to Shields again. Now Darin Jacobsen into the corner. Ganeri from 16, bingo. 2 in a row for Ganeri. That's good news if he can start to light him up.
Well, maybe Alan Ganeri didn't like sitting on the bench the entire second quarter.
That'll do it to you. 37-29. Fade away by Maddox from about 12, and he curled it in. Boy, that was a tough shot. He wasn't even close to the lane. He was 12 feet away from the basket at least. and still got it to go. Just about dead even from the baseline. Difficult shot. He had Morgan right in his face. Shields, left side, Gennari. Around to the right-hand corner now. Darin Jacobsen back out to Shields. There's a pass in the lane. Nice one to Morgan. He's got the turnaround. Good pass by Shields as Morgan broke up right into the middle of the lane, and he had the little 5-6-foot turnaround jumper. 39-31. Mitchell leads, 5.5 to go, third period. Right-hand side, Rowe. Into the side of the lane, Larson. They double team. Gets it to Maddox. Maddox going up. Blocked by Morgan. Ball loose in the corner, picked back up by the Lynx. Good rejection by Scott Morgan. Right-hand side, Rowe. One dribble, free throw line jumper is up. No good. Morgan on the rebound. Kernels can go up by 10 with a basket. Shields comes to the free throw line. Tries to slip a pass in the lane, batted away. McEntee there, now he loses control. Now Shields tried to throw that one through a couple of people inside. Now Moorlock fouled by Scott Morgan at the baseline as he tries to take a jumper from the left side. Morgan will pick up his second. Moorlock will go to the line here for a pair of shots with 4:58 on the clock, third quarter.
The Kernels could have converted that possession. They would have been up by 10. It might have forced Mark Miley to use his second time out of the game. But now Moorlock a chance to cut the lead back down to 7, as he does with the made free throw.
8 points for Moorlock on the night, so still good balance on that front line.
5 for 7 as a team from the line of the Lynx.
And he gets them both. 39-33. Brandon hanging in there. Kernels get it up into the front court. Good area. And now back to Shields. He'll set the play out front, top of the key. Goes left side. Jacobsen on the wing. Morgan in the corner. Now they'll reverse it around the right-hand side. Pass inside of the lane to McEntee. Goes inside. Has the ball knocked away. Stripped on the floor. Comes out front, though, and Shields picks it up. Kernels get it back. Now Gennari's pass hit the baseline. It was deflected by Moorlock. And the Kernels will throw it in from the right side of the basket. Passes a little bit sloppy. Kernels going to have to take a little better care of the basketball. Shields goes inside to Morgan, and he walked with it. Scott Morgan had to reach back for the pass, and as he did, dragged the pivot foot there, and I think he caught an elbow right in the nose, too, from Craig Maddox, an unintentional one, but Morgan rubbing the nose as he comes down the floor, checking to see if it's bleeding or not. Brent Seaton is now into the Kernel lineup, and he will replace Alan McEntee. The Kernels give up some size on that front line, although Mark Miley coming back in with Schleicher, his 6-footer, so that evens it up a bit. Moorlock underneath, has it rejected by Morgan, but not the second time. Morgan is going to commit the foul, and that is the third now on Scott Morgan. So that is trouble with 4:17 to go yet in the third quarter. Does Gary Munson go to the bench?
He's got to make a decision here.
Not yet.
The Lynx right now going at Scott Morgan. The last 2 times Scotty Morgan has blocked a shot by Moorlock, as the previous time as Moorlock did make the free throw. But he's committed 2 quick fouls on Moorlock here in the last 2 minutes.
Second shot up, also good by Moorlock. So he's hit 4 in a row. Brandon Valley back within 4 points, and Scott Morgan will leave, and Alan McEntee back in. So this could be a very important time of the contest right now.
We'll mark that down. 39-35. The Kernels lead by 4 with 4 minutes to go with Morgan on the bench.
Darin Jacobsen, right-hand side baseline, dishes it out front for Shields. Could have had a 3-pointer had he wanted it, but doesn't want that shot. Goes to Gennari on the right side. Seaton in the corner. Now Darin Jacobsen driving into the lane, puts it up on the run, rolls out, tips his own missed shot, no good. Rebound Brandon. They want to run, but Shields tips it away, steals it at center court. It's a 3-on-2. Shields for the jumper, good. Just inside the free throw line. Big steal there by Tom Shields. That could have easily been a basket at the other end. A 3-on-2 for Brandon, but he stepped in front. So now Mitchell by 6. Kernel's going to go into a zone here. 2-1-2 with Scott Morgan out of the lineup. Right side, Schleicher will let her fly. No good from 17. In the corner, ball knocked out of bounds. Mitchell basketball. Could have been a foul there, too, as Darin Jacobsen went flying. But it was last touched by Maddox going into the corner. Now we'll see Monty Rowe come in. Schleicher will go on. I think Rowe a little better outside shooter. And with that zone, they want somebody who can pop it in from the perimeter. So the Kernels by 6 with 3:20 to go in the third period. Jacobsen leaves it for Seaton, right-hand side. Now back out front. Shields and Gennari. In the corner, Jacobsen again. Here's a lob down low to Seton. Ball knocked away from it. But it comes loose out front. McEntee picks it up to Jacobsen. Into the lane, puts it up, no good. Try to scoop it underhanded, wouldn't go down. Here's Brandon back with a 2-on-1. Pass into the lane. Maddox will put it in. Kernels trying to go inside, and Brandon in the zone, cutting him off. 41-37. Kernels lead cut down to 4, and Scott Morgan getting ready to check back in. Next pause in the action. Shields left side to Ganeri out front. Back to Shields again. Kernels throwing it around the perimeter. Brandon sitting in the 2-1-2 zone. Mitchell trying to go inside, but it's going to be tough. 2:25 to go, third period. Shields, three-pointer, straight out front, good, and he's fouled out there. Well, there's a big basket as Morgan comes checking back in. The three-pointer will count. Tom Shields, will he go to the line, or was it after the shot? Should be a free throw. Let's see. Nope. They're questioning Gary Reed. He says after the shot. So that's all right. This could be a 5-point trip down the floor for the Kernels. Instead of the chance for one free throw, the Kernels will have the ball out of bounds at side court and a chance to get another basket out of it.
Tom Shields, 12 three-point basket of the year. Couldn't come.
Second three-pointer of the night tonight. The foul, by the way, against Monty Rowe, just his first. Only the first foul on Brandon here in the quarter. Kernels have committed only 2. Jacobsen, left-hand wing, in the corner to Ganeri. Pass in, Seton in the lane, puts it on the floor once, goes up. He's fouled as he goes to the hoop. So Brent Seton will go to the line for a pair of shots. Mitchell with a chance to increase their lead to 9 again.
Well, Scotty Morgan with 3 personal fouls has to be careful in the final 2 minutes. He has to play smart defensively, as Seton on the year is 29 of 43 for 67%.
And he cans the first one. 3 points for Brent tonight, 45-37 Mitchell. So Brandon had it cut to 4 points here in the third quarter. That's the closest that they could get. Second one also good.
And Jim, you're exactly right. That turns out to be a 5-point possession for the Mitchell Kernels.
3-point shot from the outside, and the 2 free throws by Seton. 2 minutes to go, third period. Maddox into the lane, bump foul there as Larson got the pass. He put the shot up and in, but the foul occurred well before that. Darin Jacobsen will pick it up. That is his second of the ball game. Mitchell now with 3 team fouls. Nobody in trouble except Morgan with his 3 fouls. Pass in, Moorlock from the left side, tries to go off the glass, no good. And then a foul on Monty Rowe underneath. Going after the rebound. Second against Rowe. Kernels will have it out of bounds and a chance to take their first double-figure lead of the night. And quickly, Mark Miley is going to go to his bench before the Kernels can get it in. He's going to get Martin Parks, a little more size in there, and will give Craig Maddox a rest. Maddox has played well, though, even with his back injury here this evening. Shields against some pressure. Schroeder knocking it away. Picked up by Brandon to the basket. Moorlock misses the layup. Now Rowe will go up with it. His shot comes out no good, and the Kernels get it back. 2-on-1. Shields and Seton down the floor. Shields putting it up. There's the foul. He'll go to the line for 2. Well, Shields atoned there a bit for losing the ball in the backcourt. But Coach Gary Munson is not happy with Tom Shields about trying to dribble through 2 people in the backcourt.
But how many times tonight, Jim, has Brandon Valley
missed short ones?
They had
a ton.
4 shots there in the first half, a missed layup, and a couple opportunities. Same thing right here.
You are absolutely right. They have missed a bundle of them from close. Shields' free throw is good.
Shields on the year, 22 of 38 for 58%.
11 points for Tom. The Kernels have their first 10-point lead of the ball game with 1:42 in the quarter. The second shot also good. 48-37. Little breathing room here for Mitchell. Now let's see how Brandon reacts to it. Schroeder out front. And the Kernels going to go in a zone defense here. Free throw line, shot on the way by Larson, or check that on the way by Parks, falls off. Rebound Ganeri underneath.
That's Alan Ganeri's 5th rebound of the game to tie individual honors with Scott Morgan.
Mitchell can take their time, go for a good shot here, up by 11. 1:10 on the clock. Jacobsen in the lane, breaking through, puts up the shot, no good. The rebound tapped out. It'll still be Mitchell's ball. Went out of bounds way over by the Kernel bench. And down on the floor, Jacobsen shaken up. Looked like there might have been some contact there. Kernel bench wanted it, but no whistle.
Scott Hilly points out Brennan Valley, one of their last 7 shots here in the third quarter.
They have gone cold, and more than you consider the tip-ins that they've had from underneath. They have had a lot of trouble getting the ball in the hole. Kernels could go up by 13 with a basket. Inbounds pass comes to Jacobsen. He'll return it to Shields, right top of the key, and we're at the 1-minute mark. Third period. Seaton now left side, goes baseline, drives underneath. We've got an offensive foul against Seaton. Bumped into Jason Larson there. Larson was holding his position down low. Wasn't a whole lot of contact, but a good call there. So Seaton picks up his second, and now the next foul both ways, it'll be 1-1. Schroeder up top for the Lynx. Lob underneath, hits the backboard. He was looking for Larson, threw it way too high. And Brandon has just kind of fallen out of sync here in this third period.
That's turnover number 11 in the game against the Lynx.
Kernels want to go for one, maybe. 35 seconds on the clock. They're not really spreading in the four corners, but they're pretty far back. Canary comes out, takes a little handoff from Shields. Yeah, now they'll go into the little weave out front, so they will hold for one. 22 seconds remaining. 6-point lead at halftime. Mitchell has opened it up here in the third quarter to 11. Now we're down to 13, 12. Shields still on the dribble. 10, 9. Left-hand corner, Canary. He'll go from 17. It's going to be short. Rebound, Shields. Jumper from the right side of the lane. No good. Rebound out of bounds. Brandon's ball, 1 second on the clock. So the Kernels got off 2 shots. Couldn't get it to go. Now Brandon will have to go the length of the floor in 1 tick. Morlock inbound. Schroeder will let it fly way off the mark. And that's the end of the third quarter. The score, Mitchell 48. Brandon Valley 37. We'll be back in a minute. To start the fourth quarter, there won't be an upset in Brookings tonight the way it looks. Brookings leading Watertown 34-17 late in the third period up there. We'll give you a couple others in just a moment. Brandon Valley with a basketball now to start the fourth period. They go inside. Maddox fade away, rolling off. Darin Jacobsen on the rebound. Kernels by 11. They want to increase it. Right side, Canary pulls up with a jumper short. And now Brandon wants to come out running. Oh, they didn't get the outlet pass out. Oh, they would have had about a 4-on-2, but Martin Parks couldn't get the outlet pass, so they have to slow down and bring it up. Morlock, right-hand corner with a jumper. In and out, won't go, and the cold shooting continues here for Brandon. Kernels holding on to that 48-37 lead. Again, Brookings was leading Watertown 34-17 late in the third period. We've got a foul out front on the Lynx, and the Kernels will go to the free throw line. A couple of other scores we can give you. Lincoln now leading Yankton 26-22. That is also in the third quarter. 26-22 Lincoln has come back to lead. And Aberdeen is blowing out Douglas up in Aberdeen 37-14. That's just after the halftime. So no problem for the Golden Eagles. Darin Jacobsen hits his first free throw. He's got 9 points. Latest score we had, Pierre leading Huron 36-27 in that one.
That's Darin Jacobsen's first point, Tim, since he scored the 8 points in that first quarter.
Second free throw, hangs on the rim and then rolls in again. And now Mitchell is up by 13 at 50-37. Brandon Valley can't buy a basket. They have just completely gone ice cold. Full court zone pressure. And the Lynx, do they get it across? Hold on here. What do we got?
Timeout.
Timeout away from the ball. Couldn't figure out. Gary Reed down at the opposite end of the floor blowing his whistle. Not as you would when you're calling 10 seconds, but one of the Brandon players called timeout underneath their basket. So Mark Bally wants to talk it over. Only a minute into the fourth quarter. Mitchell leads by 13. Back in a minute.
What began as a dream over 7
with Levi's 501s at LJ Clothing in the Super City Mall, Mitchell. This is KMIT in Mitchell.
Thank you, Dick Price. And as we return to the action, a tip-in basket by Jason Larson for Brandon on a missed shot by Maddox. So it's 50-39 now. Mitchell by 11. 6:45 to go in the basketball game. Tom Shields working out front. Takes it over left-hand side on the dribble. Dumps it there for Canary. Canary dribbling back out front. Now to Jacobsen. Brandon man-to-man defensively. Both teams have mixed it up a lot. Here's a lob underneath intended for Morgan. Batted away from him, and we're going to get a foul against Mitchell as they come out. Alan Ganeri will get the whistle. First on Ganeri, but everybody's in the 1-and-1. So we'll go to the line. It'll be Brian Morlock shooting the bonus here for Brandon. Well, a 13-point lead could go in a hurry, Steve, if Brandon starts hitting a little bit.
Well, they got to do better than 3 for 14 here in the second half. They're outstanding at the free throw line, 8 for 10. As Morlock makes the front end of the 1-and-1. So the Kernels are 20 of 40 for 50% after 3 quarters. And after 3 quarters, well, 14 of 37 for 38%.
So a big difference there in the shooting. Morlock missing his free throw, but the rebound comes loose in the corner. The Lynx will pick it up. So they have a chance to pick up 3 points this time. And now here's a three-pointer by Schroeder from out front. No good. A battle for the rebound side of the lane. Still loose in the corner. The Lynx get it there. Schleicher to pick it up. Now Schroeder in the lane. Ball tipped away, and Seaton comes away with it. Into the front court, Scott Morgan. The jumper right side, no good. Tip in Seaton once, no good. Tries it again, and he's fouled underneath. Good effort by Brent Seaton. Got the ball at the defensive end, hustled it down the floor, then he was there on the rebound of Morgan's missed shot. So Seaton will go to the line for 2.
Well, Seaton, who had the outstanding fourth quarter against the Huron Tigers.
Right. Got a great ball game.
Had 13 points in his last outing.
Free throw on the way, and it's good.
Seaton perfect 3 of 3 from the line here tonight. Kernels for the night are 9 of 11 from the free throw line.
Both teams shooting real well from the line. Seaton's second one is up and also good. The Kernels lead is back to a dozen at 52-40. We've got 6 minutes to play. Lynx bring it up. Schroeder, lob pass underneath for Larson. He's got it with position, goes up and scores. And it looked like Morgan actually got to push that ball from behind, but Larson still got it to go. So all 3 front liners in double figures for Brandon. Darin Jacobsen now, top of the key, needs some help. Morgan comes out to get the pass. Scott going to drive to the free throw line, cut off there. They'll leave it back for Shields out front. 52-42. Left side, Morgan to the baseline, goes underneath, slips the ball to Seaton. Seaton's grabbed on the arm as he goes up, and he'll go right back to the line again. Darin Schleicher committing the foul. And now he will check out of the lineup, and Monty Rowe will come back in. Well, that play made by Morgan as he took 2 people with him when he drove under the basket, and then that left Brent Seaton all alone. So Seaton made a pair here just a moment ago, puts this one up, and rolls it in again. 7 points now for Seaton. It's 53-42. Seaton with a couple dribbles. Second shot again, right on the money. And the Kernels cash it in from the line, and that will hold down a comeback attempt in a hurry for anybody that's trying to cut into a lead. Free throw line, very important. Maddox into the corner, almost threw it over the head of Morlock, and now he went off his leg and out of bounds. Tom Shields was on him, and Morlock couldn't hold on. And Mark Miley wants another timeout. Time is starting to run a little short, maybe, with 5 minutes to go. The Kernels hold on to a 12-point lead, and we'll be back in 60 seconds.
I see.
Couple of scores for you. Brookings continues to lead Watertown big, 42 to 23 late in the third quarter. Pierre continues to lead Huron 50-41. They're going into the fourth quarter in that one. Tom Shields front court for the Kernels. Mitchell leading by a dozen. We have 5 minutes to go in this ball game. Scott Morgan, right side, drives baseline, collision there, and a foul, and Morgan will go to the free throw line. Somebody stuck the leg out as he went by, and Morgan comes up limping.
Foul on Maddox, that'll be his 4th.
Well, he's holding on to the knee a little bit.
I wonder if he and Maddox didn't bang the knees a little bit down the baseline.
I'll tell you, that could be worse injury than almost anything. You catch a knee in the thigh or right around the knee, that muscle gets hurt. I'll tell you, that thing will hurt you for weeks afterward. It's tough to get rid of. Morgan will go to the free throw line. Hopefully it's not too serious. 4th foul on Craig Maddox, by the way. Morgan's free throw short. Seaton on the rebound in the lane, puts it up. That one falls off, no good. Now jump ball, and it'll be Mitchell basketball. Alan Ganeri fighting underneath. Well, the Mitchell Kernels have held their own pretty well, Steve, on the rebounding tonight.
Well, we've got it just about even. Kernels with a 23-22 advantage.
Ganeri, right side, bangs it in from 17, just in front of three-point range. 8 points for Ganeri. And it's 56-42. Biggest lead now for Mitchell. 4:35 to go. Schroeder out front. Left-hand side, Rowe underneath. Position for Maddox. He'll go up and score. That time he snuck in between a couple of the Kernels. Maddox with 14. That leads Brandon. Shields on the run, front court. Double team him, but he gets the ball away to Seton. 4:20. Clock, of course, the ally of the Kernels now. Left-hand side, Ganeri. Looking to Morgan as he breaks through. Can't get him the ball, and Ganeri traveled with it. Started the drive, stopped right at the side of the free throw lane, and did drag the foot there just a little bit. Now another new man in for Brandon Valley. Darin Jacobsen, who we saw in the first half, coming in.
Now 12th turnover of the game against the Kernels.
Jacobsen, pretty good outside shooter. Maybe they want him in there to try and bomb a few if they need. Jacobsen takes it away from Jacobsen. He was going to throw a pass into Maddox, and Jacobsen just timed his leap perfectly, went up and got it. To Shields, back to Jacobsen. And timeout for the Kernels. 3:53 to go. 56-44 Mitchell. The Kernels in command right now. Will be back in a minute. So they are having a heck of a battle over there. Right now Mitchell with the basketball, and Alan Ganeri again is going to hit one. Drove the baseline, pulled up side of the lane and popped it in. That's 10 for Ganeri. Fourth Kernel to hit double figures, and it's a 14-point lead once again. Side of the lane, Maddox in and out with his fadeaway. Seton on the rebound. He's fouled by Monty Rowe. And the game could, Steve, get out of hand here in a hurry. If the Kernels can get another basket or two, then you're down to three-point situation for Brandon.
Well, right now, Brandon is almost in that point right now, Tim. Desperation, down by 14 with 3.5 minutes to go, especially if Seton hits these two free throws to put them up by 16.
Brent with 8 points, he can hit double figures if he gets both of them. And he gets the first one. So Morgan has 16, Shields 12, Ganeri and Jacobsen with 10, and now Seton could have 10 if he nails this one. Boy, that's excellent.
Yes,
Shot on the way, it's short. Rebound pulled out by Larson.
I was going to mention Seton with that missed free throw. 7 for 8 on the free throw line as now Shields commits a foul out front.
Tom reaching in on the wing, and that'll send Brandon to the free throw line.
I guess when you need to make the free throws, especially at this time of the year, Tim, the Kernels 13 of 17.
Shooting well. Well, Brandon's had a pretty good night from the line, too. Not such a good night from the field. The second half has not been kind to them. Free throw good by Monty Rowe. They were only 3 of 14 in the third quarter, and they can't have picked it up a whole lot here in the fourth period either. 3:29 to play. Rowe with the second one. Left-handed shooter up and good. Monty with 7 points. 59-46. Shields dribbling through the full court press all the way up the middle of the lane. Puts the shot up, rolls off. Ganeri on the rebound. That's partially blocked. Now Morgan will score. Well, the Kernels ended up with about a 4-on-2 advantage, and they went to the boards hard. Morgan with his 18th point, 61-46. Maddox, side of the lane, underhand, scoops it up there. No good. Foul on the rebound. Going to go against Brent Seton. Well, I think it'll be Larson that'll go to the line.
Excuse me, Tim, with that missed shot, that kind of dipsy-do by Maddox under the lane just kind of tells the story here in the second half. They haven't been able to get a good shot in there. Now 6 for 21 here in the second half for the Lynx.
Still made only 3 baskets in the fourth quarter. As we said, they were only 3 of 14 in the third quarter.
As Martin Parks will now check in for Maddox with 3:05 to go.
Third foul, by the way, on Brent Seton, but nobody with more than 3. The free throw good by Jason Larson. Scott Morgan, who had to go to the bench for a while in the third period with that third foul, has not gotten that fourth one since then. Larson with a dozen, Moorlock has a dozen, and Maddox with 14, the leading scorers for Yankton. The free throw second time, no good. Scott Morgan on the rebound. Gets it off to Jacobsen. Now we're under 3 minutes to play. Jacobsen crossed the timeline to Shields. Out front Morgan, and the Kernels might spread it here a little bit. Nope, doesn't look like it. I kind of thought maybe they'd go into little 4 corners with this big of a lead. Seton right side to Shields, out front. Morgan, left-hand wing, looking into the lane, can't find anybody, comes back out to Ganeri. I don't think you'll see any 3-point shots going here, though, that's for sure. And a foul out front. Moorlock reaching in on Darin Jacobsen. Darin will go to the free throw line, and if the Kernels can just continue to hit a decent percentage of their free throws, it looks like they'll be traveling to Brookings tomorrow night, Steve.
Well, Seton now with 9 points, Tim. If he can reach that double figures, it'll be the first time this year the Kernels will have 5 players in double figures.
Jacobsen's free throw is good.
And we had one ball game this year where we had four players in double figures, and that was against Brookings. And we beat him here at the Corn Palace 75-59.
Darin's second shot on the way, rolls that one in. 63-47 with 2.5 minutes to play. Kernels have opened things up here in the fourth quarter. Larson out front, Rowe from three-point land, good. Monty Rowe. So he becomes the fourth Brandon player to hit double figures. 63-50. Jacobsen, double team, needs some help in the backcourt, gets it across to Seton. Brent will hold on there, wait for Darin to come by, and just hands him the ball. Kernels put it into maybe a little deep freeze here. Now Shields is going to be fouled. Schroeder reaching in on him. And Tom Shields will go to the line for the 1-and-1 with 2:04 remaining to be played. Now remember, tomorrow night it'll be a 7 o'clock start time, so that means we'll be on the air at 6:35. And the last score we had, Brookings was way out in front on Watertown, 42-23. So the Bobcats, I'm sure, will go on and win that one. They won the early matchup in Brookings. The Kernels came back, beat them here, so this will be the third meeting, the way it looks, between the Bobcats and the Kernels. Tom Shields getting ready now. Shoot the front end of his 1-and-1. He hits it. So the Kernels continue to cash in. That's 13 points tonight for Shields. It's got to be just about next to his high point performance of the season.
We will certainly check that out for you.
64-50. Second shot by Tom on the way, and that one's good. So he's got 14.
Yeah, the highest this year for Tom Shields, 12 points in the 65-53 win over Watertown.
So a good time to get the season's high. And Brandon Valley is asking for timeout as they bring it into the front court with 1:59 to go in the game. The Kernels lead it by 15 points. We'll be back in 1 minute.
The Kernels the best of luck.
Well, Coach Mark Miley has used his last time out of the game. He's used up his allotment of 4. 2 minutes to go. Brandon throws it in, down by 15 points. Kernels man-to-man defensively here. They go into Larson, going to drive inside, and Gennari and Morgan on him. And Gennari is the one who's going to get the foul, reached in to try and slap it away. So back to the free throw line go the Lynx. Kernels will move to 13-6 on the season here tonight. We're going to be getting you a final score from up at Brookings before we leave the air this evening. We'll wait until we get right down to the end here and see if we can get you that final. Free throw no good by Jason Larson. Comes off the front.
Well, Brandon Valley, the score holds up, will have a home court game tomorrow against Watertown.
Second shot no good again by Larson. Rebound to Jacobsen. We'll talk about that here a little more in just a moment. Shields out front into the corner. Gennari there. Mitchell is looking to hold on. If they get an opening, they'll take it, and there's a foul out front. Schroeder fouls Shields, so Tom back to the line here once again. As you said, Steve, Brandon Valley's the 3rd seed, so even with a loss here tonight, they'll be at home against Watertown, and I would have to say, Brandon, be a pretty good favorite in that one. And, you know, this team could very easily get into the state tournament. They'd be playing against the number 2 team to come out of Sioux Falls, and really outside of Lincoln, I think all those, Yankton, O'Gorman, Washington, throw them into a hat. I don't know, who you choose.
I think that Brandon Valley has to look at that way and say, you know, we came up short tonight, which is their 3rd loss in a row, all to the ESD teams, as now we get the substitutions for the Kernels.
Alan Gennari's going out. Brent Seton will leave the ball game, as we've had Mike Jorgensen check in. Alan McEntee also back in for the Kernels. And I'm sure we'll see some of the other starters go out. Final home game for Mitchell here tonight. Tom Shields hitting the free throw. He's got 15 points now for him. The season's high for Tom. Kernels are having a beauty of a night from the free throw line, and you like to see that. Second one by Shields, in and out, of course, just as I mentioned that. 66-50 the score. 1.5 minutes to go. Monty Rowe out front. He'll let fly with a three-pointer. Off the left side, no good. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll belong to the Kernels. Now more substitutions coming in. Marty Jacobsen comes in. Darin will go out of the lineup. And looks like it's going to be Eidsness coming in, I believe. Yep, Jay Eidsness. And more, Judd Saposi. So all the starters going out. They get a big hand from the crowd. Treated the Colonel fans to some good action here at the Palace this year. And again, no matter what happens tomorrow night, win or lose for the Colonels, they will not be at home anymore. Ball knocked out of bounds, deflected in the backcourt. It will still belong to Mitchell. If they lose, they'll then go on to the regional, and that'll be Saturday night in Sioux Falls at the arena. If they win, of course, they're automatically then into the state tournament. Marty Jacobsen, right-hand corner. They tie him up, and it's going to be Brandon's ball. Double team down there in the corner.
Well, Tim, I think before the season started, that if you asked 9 out of 10 people, they probably thought the scenario was going to happen. We'll talk about it, I guess, after the timeout.
Now, I know what you're going to say, that the Colonels would probably finish second. Right.
or at least play Brookings up at Brookings.
Yeah, because we're pretty much here just playing out the final 1 minute and 14 seconds. The Colonels lead by 16 points. Up by 11 at the end of three quarters, and Brandon has not come close in the fourth quarter. New players in for Brandon. Todd Schultz, a 5'9" junior. With the ball, Dean Mawson is checked in at a guard. Now we got a foul out near the free throw line. Mike Jorgensen reaching in. I believe it's going to be Darin Denai who will go to the free throw line with 1:03 remaining. Back to what you were talking about, Steve. I think you're absolutely right. Not too many folks figured that somebody was going to be able to upset Brookings in the postseason. And I think they picked it pretty much. Brookings #1 out of this district, and then the Colonels getting in through the region, I think. And it could come right down to that. Free throw missed by Denai, but Brandon gets the rebound back again. Chris Donahoe, right-hand corner, passes it across lane. He's got a man open there. Shot out and away from 10, and good. That's Dean Mawson who will score his first basket. 66-52, and now stealing the backcourt rig from Judd Saposi. Three-pointer is up. No good. Left-hand side put up by Schultz. Foul on the rebound underneath, and it's going to go against the Colonels. Now we get a couple of other players coming in. We will see Pat Timmer come into the lineup, and Chris Thorson will check in for Mitchell. Marty Jacobsen, Alan McEntee will go out. 38 seconds remaining. Even though the Colonels are turning it over here a bit at the end, it's not going to affect the outcome. Free throw is up, good. So into the scoring book is Mawson again.
When Mitchell goes up to Brookings tomorrow night, they realize, hey, that they had a chance to win that game when they lost 52-51. And I think the Colonels, as the shot is missed and rebound by Timmer, that they've got to feel awfully good about going up there tomorrow night.
Ball knocked away in the backcourt, still will be Mitchell basketball. Well, one thing is the Colonels are going to be underdogs.
Yep.
And you go out there loose, you play it, and you see what happens. At least you know even if you lose, you're not eliminated. Ball stolen away in the backcourt again. Eidsness pass intercepted, but a missed shot underneath. Colonels come away with it. Judd Saposi into the front court. Pass underneath the basket. Sails out of bounds off the hands of Timmer. Up high, couldn't hold on. 20 seconds to go. Brandon comes back with it. In the corner, Todd Schultz. Ball knocked loose from him and picked up by Pat Timmer. 9-8 into the front court. Gets the ball to Eidsness. He can't hold on. He goes up into the crowd. So this last minute has been kind of ragtag, to say the least. Up and down the floor, and see if everybody's okay in the stands. And Jay Eidsness is okay.
He's still hustling with 6 seconds to go, driving after the ball into the stands. Gotta give him credit.
6 ticks remaining. Brandon gets it inbounds. Schultz on the dribble. Going to go all the way into the lane. Puts it up, scores on the layup, and that's going to be the ball game. So the Mitchell Kernels will play for the district championship tomorrow night. They win it by 11 here tonight, and actually had a pretty easy time of it the last